Well, welcome back, you guys, for the You Say What show. Before we get started, go ahead and click the bell for notifications. Give the videos a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. The channel is free. It is lower than the price of eggs right now, y'all. Eggs. So, I haven't done the You Say What show in a while, so I want to really talk about the Grammys that happened this past Sunday. I want to cover that. I want to cover Rickey Smiley. And also, what else was it? The balloon from China. You guys, we got a lot to talk about. Feeling kind of good today, you guys, so I thought I'd go ahead and give you guys upload. I told you I was going to upload. We're going to press through, honey. Press through right here. Okay, so let's talk about these Grammys. Y'all, I don't know. I didn't ever think that the Grammys had a theme. I didn't know if they had themes or people just wore what they want to wear to the Grammys. Now, the Met Gala, I know normally has themes, and you see people in all these type of weird costumes and, stuff. I just really don't enjoy the Met Gala. I really don't. It's a little bit too weird for me, for my liking, and some of the outfits, they're so outrageous. It's just too outrageous for me. But I noticed this year, you guys, did you guys, first of all, even watch the Grammys of this year? So, this year was kind of different. It was a lot of people with costumes on. They were really eccentric. They were really... outfits were downright hideous, y'all. I was trying to play it out. Some of the outfits were downright hideous. There were a few hits, very few hits, but there was a lot of misses. And I just don't understand. I guess I just don't understand how these people have stylists and tell them, put this on. You're going to knock their socks off. And at some point, you're thinking in your mind, girl, I am not, sir, ma'am, I know this is your creation, but I'm not wearing this. I'm not wearing this, Miss Wang. I'm not wearing this, Dolce & Gabbana. I'm not wearing this, whoever else is Versace. I'm not wearing this. I don't care whose name it has on it or who the designer is. It's a little bit too much for me. So the Grammys have definitely changed. I have not watched the Grammys in years. And when I do come back, it's some shenanigans. Okay, first of all, let's start with, I was trying to figure out, first of all, why she was there. Blac Chyna. It's Blac Chyna. I guess her theme was Black Swan. But I thought the Grammys was not a theme. It doesn't have a theme. I don't know what her theme was with this, but first of all, I'm trying to figure out, Blac Chyna doesn't make music, so I was wondering, was she a guest of somebody that was getting an award, or was in music? But no, Blac Chyna was there by herself. I was outdone by the black hoses that go with the black shoes. That outfit, honey, and I'm like, how many chickens died? How many crows or birds gave their life up for this shenanigan? Honey, if you go, if I want to die as an animal, please slay me, honey, that I can look back in the bird afterlife and say, you know what? I died for a good cause, because girlfriend slayed on the runway with my feathers wrapped all goosed up around her face. But I don't know what Blac Chyna is. Honey, no. But if you're going to show up somewhere and you don't make music, you should have came and killed it. I don't know what that was. Tell me, you guys, what you think of Blac Chyna and the outfit and her makeup. I don't know, y'all. I just don't know. Now, the next person here today, y'all, I wasn't going to say nothing about her, because, you say something about this sister, honey, your career will get messed up or you end up dead somewhere, honey. Lizzo. I like Lizzo. Now, if you look at this photo, you guys, her face is stunning. Her face is absolutely stunning. Now, the dress, I'm going to show you a picture of the dress that was underneath this blanket of blood that was up underneath it, honey. But I'm like, why did they put this big covering on her and just have like her little face just peeking out. And the sad part about it is kind of sort of cute because her face, Lizzo, that I don't care what people say about Lizzo's weight. I don't care how they say she don't wear a lot of clothes. The girl is gorgeous. Gorgeous has nothing to do with your weight, your height, your none of that. You know, her face is gorgeous. So she looks like a little kid with a little Halloween mask on. You know how you wrap the kids up and you put them and you just had their little face peeking out, the little babies? Or like when my kids were smaller, I had them a coat. And the only coats that they had back then for like newborns and stuff was these little furry teddy bear looking coats, and it zipped up and it had a hood, and all you seen was their little face, and that's what it looks like. She looks like a little baby with her face sticking out. Now that outfit, that covering, honey, she could have left that and just wore the dress that's underneath. Now here's a picture of the dress just underneath. Okay, so the dress to me looks a little orangish. Is that the color that I'm getting? So the red on top of that orange, I don't know what that whole contrast was right there. But her dress that she had at an after party, I guess it was the Grammys after party, now that was stunning. And she had a gentleman that was with her. This right here, honey, this picture. Oh, Lizzo was popping. Honey, she was fly. She was looking real good. But I don't know what was going on with that first little covering thing they had going on. I don't know about that. Now, this one here, you guys, this person here, I don't know what's going on with them. Have you ever looked at somebody like, hey, what did we miss? What did it all go awry? Something went left field, and we just really didn't pay it no attention. And it kind of creeped up on us like suddenly, you guys. Madonna. Now, let me tell you something. I was around, it was around the 80s when Madonna came out. When I tell you this was a bad bombshell of a white woman, you talking about major sex appeal. Honey, just, she gave you Vixen, honey. She gave you Marilyn Monroe reincarnated. She gave you great music. She gave you crazy videos. I mean, Madonna was at the height of her game, honey, and I don't know anybody, you know, that didn't at some point have a crush on Madonna. She was that girl, honey. You just couldn't mess with Madonna. But to go from this to this, it is giving me, have you ever seen that woman? Her name is, I think she's a cat lady or something. She pumped her face up with a whole bunch of stuff and she wants to look like a cat. I barely recognize Madonna. I don't know if, and let me know what you guys think. I think sometimes it's the ageism. Because you were such a bombshell in your younger years that you cannot deal with the natural aging process. You can't deal with that. And you're trying to recreate or trying to be ageless. And it is not working. And she's kind of giving me that where they change their face. You know how little Kim, I forget, it's a whole complex, you guys, where I think it's called morphia dysplasia or something like that, where they constantly get surgery or Botox or fillers or something in their face to try to change the way they look or enhance the way they look or try to get the wrinkles out or something like that. Is what little Kim has. That cat lady has it. Michael Jackson has it. Had it. So I think Madonna is not comfortable with getting older, and she is trying, but she is yet missing. And I think it's kind of mental because at some point you don't even look like you. How you don't look like you? Now, if I come on here one day, y'all done seen me in multiple videos looking this way, and I come on here all puffed up face, lips stiff, and you'll be surprised how many people mentally are going through that, because I've seen some on reality TV that are just doing stuff to their face, They start out with a little bit and then they just keep pumping and pumping. It's like, honey, how big do you need your lips to be before you can't really even enunciate words? If you want to get a little filler, I'm not against plastic surgery. I'm really not. You give me enough money, y'all, I'm be keeping 100, baby. I'm coming on here snatched, baby. Skin gonna be full. Baby, I'm gonna be snatched. I'm gonna get my little bye-bye arms gone. Get me some liposuction. Get something done to my back right here. And I'm not against it. But I'm against the the excessiveness of it. Is just, honey, she got something that's going on. So Madonna, material girl, honey, I need you. Madonna needs some sister girls. You need some sister girls in your life. I got me a couple of sister girls that it don't matter what I'm doing, what I'm saying, what I'm trying to prove to them. They will say, Sherry, that ain't right. They'll cut me up. Sherry, I love you, sis. I get what you're saying, but that ain't right. They're gonna stop me in my tracks and not come down off of it. No matter how much I call them to try to get them to justify, they're not gonna go for it. You know why they ain't gonna go for it? Because they love me. She needs some sister girls in her life to say, you need to stop. Now, if she want to continue doing what she want to do, then that's fine. So maybe I shouldn't say she don't have no sister girls in her life, because maybe she do and she just got her mind made up. I don't know what's going on with her. But Madonna, that ain't it. That ain't it. Shout out to Beyonce for getting 32 Grammys. My God, how many more can she get? Is it a cutoff? Is it a limit? Can you only get 35 and that's the rest for the rest of you? You done made history. You done passed out Michael Jackson. You done got it. At some point, you can't even really cry about it because you done got 32 of them now. If I get one award, and maybe about the 5th or 6th, I may still be crying to 10, but 32 is just like, give me my stuff. She should have just walked in there, grabbed up all the Grammys and walked out the door. You know, it just is 32 of them. How many years have the Grammy been out? I got to Google that and look it up. How many have they been out? And if it's been out 50 years or however long it's been out, every 32 of them things, honey, at one point. Ain't no other singers out there. Ain't nobody else out there getting no Grammys. Besides this woman here, snatch up all the Grammys. After a while, do it get a little boring after a while? When you keep seeing the same people win? I don't know. Because they had a problem with the Patriots, kept on going to the Super Bowl. So, you know, the people get bored with the Super Bowl, with the Patriots keep showing up. I'm kind of getting bored, y'all. Seeing the same people win all the time. I don't know. But the woman making good music, people like her music. Go ahead and get your 32 Grammys. But at some point, I don't know. Y'all, on a more sadder note, let's talk about Rickey Smiley. Now, I have been following Rickey Smiley since the 90s. Rickey Smiley has been in the entertainment business for years. My first first time seeing Rickey Smiley probably was on Def Comedy Jam or either Comic View. If you ain't got no age on you back in the 90s, you may not remember that. And he was hilarious from the first time that I saw him. Rickey Smiley used to do these prank shows, prank phone calls. Now, back in the 90s, you bought a CD, and it had all his prank phone calls on there. And I mean, he would be the old lady. He would be a church lady that said that she left her toes inside of her church shoes. Just freaking hilarious. I watched his stand-up show called Casket Sharp. I've listened to Rickey Smiley on the radio, on his morning show. I watched Rickey Smiley's TV show that he had with all his children, and then the brat and his his radio host and stuff were in that show as well. So I followed this man for years, as many as you probably have too. And I remember watching his reality TV show and seeing his son, Brandon. And I kept saying, boy, he looked like Rickey Smiley. He looks just like him. And this was his firstborn son. And I liked it because it showed the real side of their relationship. And they had some little bumps or whatever. I think Brandon was more or less trying to find himself. And Rickey was really just trying to instill values and hard work and stuff in him to direct his life. But you know how kids is. Kids gonna want to go their own way, even though we're trying to show them a better way. At some point, they just gotta knock their heads, make their own mistakes, like we did, make our own mistakes. And so I think it was Sunday before last or last, it was actually last Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Well, don't let me put a date on it, but Rickey Smiley came on Facebook. I follow him on Facebook as well, and said that his oldest son had passed away. Now, the death has not been determined. They have to do an autopsy on him. But he was talking to his grandmother. They were texting back and forth, talking via text, and they were going to church together that morning. And so she kept texting him or something, and he didn't respond. And then they found him in I believe, his apartment, and he had passed away. And this young man was 32 years old, had one little daughter that was 3 years old. And so they had his funeral this past Friday down in Birmingham, Alabama. You know, Rickey is from out down there, down in the South. And that's his, I guess, his hometown or what have you. I think Birmingham is his hometown. But it was really sad. And if you have not seen some of the videos, I'll show you just a small snippet of Rickey talking about how he feels about his son passing away the very next day. So check this out, you guys.
Today it just feels worse because I think yesterday was the shock, but today reality is setting in, and I can feel it. I just want to tell everyone, thank you for your thoughts. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your text messages and your calls.
Love me tonight. Tomorrow was made for some. Tomorrow may never come.
So I don't know if Rickey Smiley is going to take everyone through his journey of the grieving process. I know there's many stages of grieving. I've lost my brothers, both of my brothers, my mom and my grandmother, grandfather too. Lost a lot of people in my life. It's so much. I mean, you guys probably have as well, but have not, thank God, lost a child. So at first I kept thinking, just get off of social media. But this may be part of his grieving process to first keep your sanity, second to help somebody else along the way. I haven't seen any other videos outside of that one. I've seen little things that he's posted, pictures and stuff like that of his son, but I haven't seen any videos. But you could absolutely see the hurt in this man's face and through his voice. And yet and still, he's still trying to encourage and wants everyone to pray for his Brandon's mom and his other children as well. So if you say a prayer today or tomorrow or whenever you pray for Rickey Smiley, his family, and also anybody else that has lost any children. I don't know if any of the followers on here have lost any children. I have not. I thank God I have not. Personally, my prayer has been, and I really have prayed this before, God, I would rather go before any of my children do. I would rather go, because I've known people that has lost children. I remember a lady, I don't know what her real name was. I used to call her Mavis. There was a group that had a lady named Mavis in it. Something Mavis. I don't know what the name of the group was, but I nickname people because I'm bad with names. So I nickname them and I remember the nickname. And me and this lady worked together at Great American Insurance. And when we worked at Great American Insurance together, she had 2 sons. And my brother-in-law lived downstairs. And he came home from work one day and saw her oldest son leaned on a car that was parked in the back parking lot. And he thought maybe he was drunk because he was young and they would, get drunk together. He thought he was drunk and just sitting on the ground leaning on the car, and found out that someone had shot him. Someone had shot him and left him there. And so he called the police and everything. And I remember her getting the phone call at work, and she left. And Mavis didn't come back to work for maybe, it had to be at least 2 weeks. And me and her were pretty close. We would take lunch together. She was an older lady, and I was like in my 20s or something. And I remember going to lunch with her one day, and she told me, she said, if she had not had her other son, she said, why is the maintenance guy out there hollering maintenance? If she had not had her other son, then she would have committed suicide. But she said she didn't do it because she had a son that was left. And that level of hurt and that level of pain, I could not understand, but I felt so bad for her. And I don't know if it's a difference between the pain when you just lose a child naturally. You know how some children may have cancer, they may be sick, or, a baby just has SIDS or something like that. But I guess it would have to be a different kind of pain when you lose a child to murder. And she was serious about that. And I just pray for her. I lost contact with her when we left a job or what have you. But pray for those that have lost children all across the world. So yeah, keep Rickey Smiley and his family and those that are bereaved. And if you guys have lost any children or anything like that, we'll definitely be praying for you as well. So let's go to the balloon from China, you guys. First of all, I don't know a whole lot about all this China stuff. So for those that know about it, inform me, because there's so many issues with United States and other countries and all of this different stuff. It's so many issues. You got Russia, you got this, you got that. It's hard to keep up with that. If you are watching the news every single day, you got to be a negative person, because I cannot watch the news every single day because it's just way too much information and way too much stuff. So, but I know China is more swayed toward Russia, even though we get the majority of our stuff from China. And there was a balloon that came over here. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was hovering over Montana, I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong. Over Montana or some states or what have you. And I'm just trying to figure out, how in the world did a balloon come across a continent and not get noticed? A balloon, until it got here. You have all this technology, stuff up in the sky, drones, you're looking at us, they probably looking at us now, looking at us now, and you did not spot a balloon that was high in the air. Now, it'd have been different. My son was saying it'd have been different if the balloon was low to the ground. Maybe it can blend in with the trees or something like that. Harder to spot because you got buildings, you got trees, you got things like that. But this thing was way up in the air. And it came all the way over here. And nobody noticed it until it got here. So you got pictures. You get all kinds of pictures. Now, they shot the balloons down. And now there's a big old thing that some people believe the president is in behind it. I mean, it's just a whole lot of. I don't know. And at this point, I don't know if we can really feel safe, because they got whole balloons over here watching us. And by the time you made your way over here, you have taken a bunch of pictures. And so my son and I were talking, and I'm like, we going to war. There's money behind wars. Death too, but there's money behind wars, and there's death behind wars. And I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know what all's going on, but there's a lot going on in this world. So I don't know. And so my son was telling me that they can't, like, if we do go to war, you can't bomb civilians or something like that. Like, there's rules of engagement. Man, these folks is heinous. They ain't worried about no rules of engagement. If they gonna do something, they ain't worried about that. He said they probably would do naval bases or something, down in Killing, Texas. And I think it's South Carolina or North Carolina got a station down there. Jacksonville has a station down there. I said, oh, okay, but there's still people that's around that area that would be affected, especially if it's a chemical thing. I don't know, you guys. This world is super, super crazy. It is a lot going on. I don't put anything past anybody. I really don't trust, them higher ups, the powers that be, to look out for our well-being. So we are probably not in a good condition right now. I don't know. Tell me what you think about that. I got to do some more research on that. But I'm trying to figure out how that balloon get all the way over here. And then you let it float back and then you finally shoot it down. But it floated past you. Honey, it don't sound right to me. You guys, go ahead, click the bell for notification, get the videos a thumbs up, engage with me down in the comments, you guys. And we will see you again on this week, because I'm going to do, one of the followers, Aisha, asked to do a video on at my experience with solo traveling. So I want to give you guys some tips and things of that nature regarding if you ever desire to do a solo trip. There's a lot of things that you need to look into, check out, a lot of precautionary type things that you want to be aware of, and some research before you go out here just gallivanting to other countries and stuff like that. If you stay in the States, you still got your precautionaries, but it's something when you end up going out of country, it's a little bit more, because that's unfamiliar, total unfamiliar territory for some of us. So I definitely would do a video with that, about that, and upload it. And I do get me another vacation plan, and it is to Cancun, you guys. So I'm excited about going to Cancun, and I think I'm going to be going there around my birthday time this year. But this one ain't gonna be solo, because I said I was gonna take a solo trip, and then somebody, one of my friends from way back in the day, girl, she's seen it and said, I've been wanting to travel too, but I can never get anybody to go. So this one is not a solo trip. It was going to be a solo trip, but it's not, because now I got a travel partner. Sometimes you just got to go out there and somebody will start traveling with you. Who knows? So you guys go ahead and have a great and awesome Tuesday, and I will see you later this week. Peace.